Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and I'm excited to dig into gratitude documented. Today I am working through gratitude documented, and specifically I'm looking at day 12, focusing on moments of stillness, which are few and far between in my life and something that I love to remind myself that are really necessary. So I am in Psalms 46 verse 10. I have goodies pulled out from Illustrated Faith and I'm excited to get going. So I will put you all on fast forward. Otherwise, let's go. I'm going to start out with some colored pencils. I was wanting to use this beautiful stencil of a fall leaf, and I want to highlight some of the gorgeous colors in this kit. I feel like they are very fresh. They're not necessarily your typical fall colors, which is what I love about them. I love the mixture of peach into this. So I'm going to pick a few colors and then we're going to get the stencil down on the page and do some colored pencil work to set the tone for the background of the page. I went ahead and sprayed the back of the stencil with pixie spray, and that keeps the stencil in place. And then I'm going to just trace each of the different sections. I'm wanting to include all of these different colors. I needed to grab a few extra. We're going to just outline those different sections. Then I can pull up the stencil and do a little bit of shading and coloring to fill in this huge leaf. I've said this before recently, don't forget about colored pencils. Colored pencils were the very first supply I used in my Bible journaling. They are very easy. I have Prismacolor pencils, which are fabulous. They're really smooth. They blend beautifully, but really you can do this with Crayola pencils. You can do it with whatever color pencils you have. They're fabulous because they, of course, will not bleed through the pages, so you don't have to worry about that. And they're just a really easy tool to take on the go with you, which I think is really important, especially if you're wanting to Bible journal. I love traveling and Bible journaling. I love taking it outside. I love taking it to a coffee shop. So having tools that you can easily bring on the go are fabulous. And of course, colored pencils are one of those. The verse that I am focused on, like I said, was in Psalm 46, verse 10, and it says, "Stop your fighting and know that I am God, exalted among the nations, exalted on the earth." I love that this verse was chosen for moments of stillness because not only does it highlight a moment of stillness, but specifically calls out stopping the fighting. And as someone that I wouldn't have characterized it as fighting before, but as someone that likes to push my control on things, for someone that likes to be in control, that likes to fight a situation, that wants to know what's going to happen at all times, stopping the fighting, stopping the resistance to just what God has planned is an important lesson for me. And a lot of times in that stop, that's the moment of stillness. Even if you're going to stop and turn a different direction, there is a moment of stillness when you are changing directions. And I think that that's really important to note. And I think that's really important to focus on in this moment of gratitude. Those moments where you can just release the desire to fight, release those anxieties and give them over to God, I think are beautiful moments to be grateful for throughout your life. I wanted to bring in just a touch of blue here to shade some parts of the leaf. It's not the most perfect pencil shading ever, but I love how it makes a big impact on the page. I like how it came out and kind of includes all the colors of the kit. Now I'm going to go through all of the prompts here and choose the one that says moment of stillness because of course I want to feature that on the page. So we're going to clear out all of these, and then I decided to go ahead and grab for the stamp set because, you know, I love a good stamp set, but in order to stamp, I'm going to need to create a mask. So here it is, my stencil on a white piece of paper. I'm just going to trim that out to create a big old mask for the stencil, and then I can cover up what I've already created, adding a little bit of washi tape and bring in some black and white florals. I love this masking technique for creating a layered look with your stamp. So you can see I'm just going to put a little washi tape on the back of this leaf and then lay that down, covering up all of the edges. bring in the black and white florals. These are stamps from the Gratitude Documented kit, and I'm going to stamp just along the edge. That way, anything that's stamped on that white piece of paper will end up getting covered up. Like you won't be able to see it. The what's it called? The colored pencil will shine through, but this is going to allow for a black and white border all around the edge. It's so funny. Once you put the florals all the way around, it looks absolutely crazy. You can see that I'm very purposefully turning the stamp each time so that you get a different look. If you hold the stamp the same direction for the entire time you're stamping, it's just going to be this repeated shape over and over. But if you turn it each time and work with different parts of the stamp, it looks like you have a whole set of all of these different floral stamps. All right, stamping is done. The next thing to do is going to be to lift up this piece, and ta-da, you have the leaf featured with all of the beautiful florals in the background. I'm going to take this gorgeous piece that says thankful, and we're going to add that stamp as well right here, and that'll be where I can do my journaling. I will end up journaling on top of the leaf. Sometimes it can be hard to journal over colored pencil, especially if it's a real waxy colored pencil. I found that my micron pen ended up working just fine over the top of that. So I would recommend that, or a felt tip pen can work really nicely too, or a gel pen. So just experiment, see what's going to work for you. But the micron ended up working pretty well for me. I want to highlight that Moments of Stillness down at the bottom. That's kind of the title of the page. I'm going to choose a couple of the pieces of fabric. We're going to add those in just to set this off. And then I decided to pull in a few stickers as well. I kind of went back and forth on whether I wanted to do ruffles or not. I decided we're just going to go with a straight piece of fabric, just layering these two in the back because they kind of pull in some of the lighter green that I wanted to pull in that was in the leaf. We'll tilt this. I'm going to pull some of the cardstock stickers because I love the colors in those. The mushroom is just too cute to not put on my page. So let's bring that in as well. And then some florals behind up here. Love it so much. Now that I'm pleased with how all of the clustering is going to go, I'm going to start by getting the fabric down on the page. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac glue, just get a little bit of that so it can adhere down to the page. Again, I kind of fight with my Fabri-Tac glue. Do you guys do that? Mine is always fighting me. It's a big, it resists. It doesn't want to come out. So one piece of fabric, then we'll add the other one. And I'm going to end up using some foam adhesive on the back of the Moments of Stillness because I want it to pop up just a little bit. I say it all the time, but one of the awesome reasons to have a spiral bound Bible is that you can add some dimension into your journaling without it being overwhelming. I buy this foam tape from the Dollar Tree. Such a great deal. Comes in 3 sizes all in one pack for $1.25. I'm going to add that to the back, just peel off the backing and then put that down on the page. Again, it gives that little bit of dimension without overwhelming the spiral bound book. It's not going to be, too thick to close or anything like that. So we'll get that down on the page. How cute is that? Sometimes it's a little tricky to pull off the backing though. That's when I'm thankful I don't have really long nails because it's a little bit easier, I feel like. With really long nails, I can get all caught up in that. All right, so that down on the page. Next, I'm just going to grab my ruler. Oh, actually, I forgot. We're going to put in a few stickers here and there because there was so much color in the middle, some color at the bottom. I wanted a few pops of color in other places. I'm going to do that with butterflies because they're my fave. So let's put a few butterflies around the edge. They always give a peaceful feeling to me. Gonna stick those and then go ahead and pull my T-square ruler to add in some lines and some journaling, and that's gonna be it for this Bible journaling spread. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. As always, I will link all of the supplies that I used down in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for all of your support and for being an amazing creative community. If you want to check it out, head on over to the link down below. You can start your 7-day free trial for Patreon today. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.